Shockwaves are rippling through the featherweight division, and fans can't help wondering, who will be Alexander Volkanovski's next challenger? Diego Lopes' electrifying victory over Jean Silva has kept everyone guessing about the future of the title, but the path to UFC gold remains shrouded in uncertainty. Volkanovski, after reclaiming the championship by defeating Lopes for the vacant belt at UFC 314 this past April, now oversees the 145-pound category with a firm grip. Given how recently Lopes was bested by Volkanovski, a quick rematch seems unlikely. However, considering that Jean Silva was pegged as the likely contender if he triumphed over Lopes at Noche UFC, Lopes can't be counted too far from the top either. The hierarchy is shifting. So, what comes next? The million-dollar question. What's next for the featherweight crown? Volkanovski mused on his YouTube channel, echoing the curiosity percolating among fans and fighters alike. Everybody wants to know who the next challenger will be. I think the UFC wanted to see how things played out between Jean Silva and Diego Lopes. Then there's Lerone Murphy, who's fresh off a spectacular knockout against Aaron Pico. I already gave Murphy the nod, but it feels like we're all just waiting for the UFC matchmaker's decision. Honestly, I'm in the same boat. Was the UFC holding out for the results of Lopes versus Silva? Maybe. So the wait continues. He added, should Diego get another shot at me? That wild finish, classic Diego. He always brings excitement, and the UFC knows that. Whether they decide to push for him again is anybody's guess. But you all know me. I'm ready for anyone whenever the call comes. Here's where it gets controversial. Volkanovski is no stranger to rapid-fire rematches. Just last year, when reigning as featherweight king, he challenged Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title at UFC 284, coming up short in a razor-close decision. 8 months later, Volkanovski stepped up for a last-minute rematch after Charles Oliveira bowed out, only to suffer a knockout head kick from Makhachev. Could Lopes, known for seizing urgent opportunities, swoop in against Volkanovski again if something unexpected happens? Say if Lerone Murphy is sidelined. Volkanovski pondered, is an immediate rematch with Diego the logical step? Maybe not, since it just happened. But the UFC often makes unpredictable moves. With Murphy also in the mix, I'll confer with the UFC soon. I honestly don't have a firm answer yet. The official announcement should come from them. December is the tentative target for my next fight, but let's see how things unfold. One principle remains unchanged. Volkanovski never ducks a fight. Turning 37 this month, he's well aware of the young, hungry contenders swirling around him, but refuses to shy away. Jean Silva could pose a serious threat in the division. Volkanovski observed, his knockout power is real, but you saw what happened. Let me leave it there. You all know my record. I don't back down, even when people question matchups against guys like Pico or Silva. There's a new wave coming. These next-generation fighters. Everyone hypes them up. But this is the part most fans overlook. Volkanovski and Lopes have both proven themselves against these so-called evolution fighters, and Volkanovski isn't intimidated. I've shown I can beat the new generation. Diego's done it too. The proof is in the cage. In other MMA news, Terence Crawford has checked another elite fighter, Canelo Alvarez, off his list, leading fans to speculate. Could Ilia Topuria be next for Crawford's call-out? Meanwhile, Jean Silva issued his first statement following a tough main event loss at Noche UFC, and Dominic Cruz continues to stoke controversy with harsh words for referee Keith Peterson, calling him a complete fuck-up. The MMA world continues to buzz beyond the headlines, with analysts dissecting the featherweight title puzzle, breaking down exciting matchups, and grappling with the Kelvin Gastelum situation. On social media, reactions range from nostalgia to fierce debate. No surprise in a sport that thrives on unpredictability. Final thoughts. While the hype leading up to the Crawford vs. Canelo showdown felt underwhelming and the event's pacing left much to be desired, the fight itself delivered pure drama. Crawford has cemented his claim as perhaps the best boxer of his era, and Canelo's dignified response to defeat won respect. The payday for both was astronomical. For Noke UFC, action and highlight moments salvaged a card that could have easily slipped into obscurity. Now all eyes shift to UFC Perth in 2 weeks. Just don't scrutinize that lineup too hard, or you might find more questions than answers. So what do you think? Should Diego Lopes get an immediate rematch at the top, or does Lerone Murphy deserve his shot first? Are the UFC matchmakers playing it too safe, or should they roll the dice with a wilder pick? Drop your take in the comments, whether you're cheering for next-gen fighters or believe the veterans still rule. Your voice matters in this debate.